Hello everyone. Here I am with a new episode, full of insights and emotions. My name is Mudden Tunk, also known as the Last Interpreter. Today is Tuesday, December 24th, 2024. In this episode, I'll primarily talk about Christmas. My goal is to explore the roots of this celebration and reveal its most authentic and profound meaning. From my previous talks, I've realized that many of us aren't entirely familiar with these topics. However, I firmly believe that, over time, we'll achieve a deeper and more complete understanding. I just asked for a little patience. For some, what I'm about to share might seem nonsensical or absurd. Even those who find it logical might interpret it through their own perspectives rather than grasp the meaning I aim to convey. But that's perfectly fine. Remember, I'm bringing to light ancient knowledge, buried in the depths of history, meant for all humanity. And I've known from the very beginning that I won't be able to convince everyone. Many years ago, when I first encountered this work, just like many of you, I found it exaggerated, absurd, or at best, logical but irrelevant to me. Yet every time I had dismissed it, this work returned to me with a new meaning, a different concept, or a fresh perspective. One day, I realized I was standing at the heart of a great academy. And today, this academy is taking its first steps to reach out and connect with you. When I sent my first article about languages to an Italian newspaper, the journalist who received it called me, and we spoke for about 20 minutes. Around 20 days later, on December 30th, 2018, my article, titled "A Language Waiting to be Discovered," was published in a national Italian newspaper, Illinois Torino. That publication became the spark that pushed me to dive deeper into this research. Everything I am sharing with you today, which might seem entirely new, is actually the reflection of an invisible academy that has been part of my life since birth. It's part of who I am, and now is the time to share it with the world. In this episode, I've prepared a special gift for the grown-ups, those who no longer believe Santa Claus ever really existed. But with this episode, even adults might begin to believe again as I unveil the original and authentic meaning of this important celebration, interpreted by the Last Interpreter. We often think of gifts as material objects, but the gift I'm offering you today is different. It cannot be touched. It's made of words and their meanings. It's a unique gift, passed down from our ancestors and delivered to all of you through me. Even though we no longer believe in Santa Claus as adults, as children, we all felt at least for a moment that magical sense of wonder. The idea of an extraordinary figure silently entering through the chimney to leave the very gift we'd been dreaming of filled generations with joy.
Yet, beyond its origins and cultural classifications, what truly matters is the meaning each of us chooses to give to this tradition. Whether it's a magical moment for children or an opportunity to rediscover authentic values, Christmas remains a celebration of significant cultural and social importance. In this regard, my contribution aims to offer a detailed analysis of the meaning and etymology of this phenomenon, which over the centuries has evolved into a celebration of global relevance. By examining its historical roots and cultural transformations, we will seek to understand how this tradition has taken on different meanings across various eras and societies. Are you ready? Let's embark on this historical and linguistic journey together.
The agrarian man of today has his roots in a single primordial language. Over the course of 15,000 years, these roots have gradually branched out, giving rise to a plurality of languages and cultures. One of the great constants that spans this vast period of time is Christmas. This celebration has origins that date back well before the advent of agriculture. Evolving in parallel with it, one can think of Christmas as a symbolic seed planted in the earliest agricultural communities, a symbol that has continued to sprout and transform over time. The agrarian man has always preserved this tradition, passing it down through the centuries. Today, in the context of modernity, it continues to be lived, enriched with new meanings and interpretations. like a thread that ties the distant past to the present. However, this thread is not just a cultural heritage. It is based on deep linguistic and scientific roots that trace back to a primordial language, containing 14 fundamental concepts, which have endured through the millennia to reach us today. For those who haven't watched the first episode, I'd like to briefly revisit the 14 branches of the Great Oak of Languages. These branches represent the foundational concepts that connect the primordial language to its countless cultural and scientific evolutions. They are the roots of a universal knowledge that has endured for millennia to reach us today. The 14 branches of the Oak of Languages. 1. Hydronymy, the study of the names of water bodies. 2. Toponymy, the study of the names of mountains and hills. 3. Anthroponymy, the study of personal names. 4. Theonymy, the study of divine names. 5. Zoonymy, the study of the names of animals. 6. Botanymy, the study of the names of plants. 7. Astronomy, the study of the names of celestial bodies. 8. Anatomy, the study of the names of body parts. 9. Coloronomy, the study of the names of colors. 10. Mythonymy, the study of names related to myths. 11. Gastronomy, the study of the names of tastes. 12. Sensonomy, the study of the names of emotions. 13. Linguonomy, the study of the names of languages. 14. Ethnonomy, the study of the names of ethnic groups. These concepts, united under the grand umbrella of semantics and phonetics, form the foundation of our culture and traditions. In particular, the 10th concept, mytonymy, deserves closer examination. Mytonymy and Christmas. Mytonymy delves into ancient terms and narratives, uncovering their original meanings. This approach reveals that myths are not merely fantastical tales but rather keys to understanding the past and interpreting the present. For instance, Christmas, as we know it today, has roots in ancient stories that transcend religious celebration. It is a universal symbol of renewal, hope, and continuity. Through mytonymy, we can grasp its authentic meaning and see how this tradition has evolved over time, adapting to the needs and contexts of various civilizations. These studies, which I pursue not for popularity, but to restore knowledge that inherently belongs to the people, demonstrate that traditions like Christmas are not just occasions to celebrate but are carriers of ancient wisdom that enlighten both the past and the future. The psychological roots of Christmas. Here lies the scientific foundation of this phenomenon. A child's deep psychological experience, where fear transforms into inner clarity and hope. It is this transformation that has allowed the Christmas tradition to endure, rooted in humanity's capacity to reinterpret and elevate its deepest emotions. Let me share with you a story that encapsulates this meaning. In homes with entrances through chimneys, as winter began, the inhabitants prepared to endure long months of darkness and hardship, while adults managed to cope with these realities. For a 5 or 6-year-old child, staying confined in small, dark rooms demanded immense effort from both the child and the family. In houses with flat roofs, still present in many Anatolian villages, every step on the roof transformed into a sound that residents analyzed and interpreted. During harsh winters, hunger drove animals onto these roofs, and the noises they made provoked fear and unease, especially in children. However, this fear did not remain on a superficial level. It was transformed into narratives, images, and meanings that enriched the collective imagination of the community. One day, a child heard footsteps on the roof for the first time and asked their mother whose they were. The mother's response was simple yet profound. No el papa. Analyzing these words reveals their linguistic roots. No, a universal concept, present in many languages, associated with negation. Its widespread use suggests its fundamental role in cultural construction. El, an ancient term meaning foreigner, which retains the same meaning in many modern languages. Papa, a universal term for father, derived from the repetition of infantile sounds like ba or pa. The mother then explained that the footsteps belonged to the child's father, who was bringing a gift. In that moment, the child's fear transformed into hope, giving rise to an emotional phenomenon that would be passed down through generations. This story, originating in Çatalhöyük, spread first among the Sumerians, then the Phoenicians, and later through Mediterranean cultures, ultimately becoming part of a global tradition. Today, we celebrate this legacy with the same hope and warmth, connecting past and present in a narrative that continues to resonate in the lives of millions. Now, I'll read a chapter from my book, The Mother Tongue of Sapiens, page 95, dedicated specifically to this episode. In this chapter, I delve into the linguistic and cultural roots of Christmas, uncovering connections that go far beyond the surface of its traditions. This book offers a unique perspective on how languages and cultures have evolved over time. Santa Claus or Noel Papa. The story of Santa Claus, who brings gifts by entering through the chimney, is likely rooted in the real-life traditions of Çatalhöyük. The legend of Santa Claus, or in ancient terms Noel Papa, carries the following meanings. No, negative in many languages. L, stranger in ancient Turkish. Thus, the term Noel Baba translates to he is not a stranger, he is the father. In the houses of Çatalhöyük, it was possible to hear and identify the footsteps of any human or animal walking on the roof. For instance, when footsteps were heard, a curious child might ask who it was, and the mother would reply, it's not a stranger, it's your father bringing gifts. The term Noel Papa became a common phrase within the Çatalhöyük society. Over time, this phrase evolved into a ritual celebration in the agrarian society's calendar. In more recent history, this legend was Christianized into what we now know as Santa Claus. Noel Baba, he is not a stranger, he is Santa Claus. This expression helps us understand, semantically, how the same story, experienced in different eras, can take on different meanings depending on the culture in which it exists. Monoconcepts are the key to this narrative. They shape the thought forms of the legend, enabling us to trace back to its original sense. Through monoconcepts, words, verses, phrases, and mythologies of fables, it is possible to uncover an original meaning, distinct from the current one, linking us to the deepest roots of our traditions. As we conclude this second episode, I want to emphasize the importance of what we've explored today. Together, we've journeyed into the heart of an ancient tradition, Christmas, seeking to understand its deeper roots, which trace back to a common language and culture. Thousands of years ago, these connections, spanning across time and continents, not only tell us about the past, but also illuminate the future of our traditions. Today, we also took an intriguing journey to Çatalhöyük, an ancient site that allowed us to see how the origins of these traditions may date back even before the advent of agriculture. There, among the homes and stories of early farmers, we can find traces of what we now know as Christmas, in a symbolic language that still speaks to us today. Additionally, Christmas is not only a cultural tradition, but it also has an important connection to astronomical science. This celebration is closely linked to the calendar, which was developed long before the agricultural era. The origins of the solar calendar, marking the passage from one year to another, are a testament to how humanity, from ancient times, has sought to understand and celebrate the natural cycles of the world around it. I hope this journey through time and space has made you reflect, bringing to light connections that often escape our everyday perception. Understanding these roots is not just an act of intellectual curiosity, but also a key to rediscovering the true meaning of the traditions we live with every day. Thank you for joining me on this journey. In the next episode, we will delve even deeper into these themes, going beyond what we know to uncover more hidden truths. I look forward to continuing this extraordinary search with you. Merry Christmas to all. The Last Interpreter. I look forward to your support, both here and on YouTube. Stay safe and well. Mudden Tunk Zaza.